Welcome to Lesson 7, the one where Vim stops being scary. We're covering two terminal editors, Nano, your friendly notepad for quick config tweaks, and Vim, the one that lives on every server, every container, every embedded box you'll ever touch. By the end, you'll open any file anywhere. And yes, you'll exit Vim alive. So here's the plan. 4 skills, 2 editors. First, you'll get fluent in Nano. Open, edit, save, exit, with the shortcuts right there at the bottom of the screen. Then we'll tackle Vim's modal model, why it works that way, and the 5 commands that make you functional. After that, the fast stuff. HJKL, DD, YIP, the verbs that earned their place on the keyboard. And finally, the senior's secret, knowing when you don't need either one. Before we touch a single key, let's get the mental model straight. Nano behaves like Notepad. You open it, you type, the shortcuts live at the bottom of the screen. Vim is different by design. It's modal, meaning the same keystroke does different things depending on which mode you're in. Sometimes your letters are text, sometimes they're commands. That's the whole source of the confusion, and once you see it, Vim stops being scary. So let's start with Nano, because honestly, there's almost nothing to learn. You type Nano followed by a file name, and you're in. Type whatever you want. Arrows move, backspace deletes, just like any editor you've ever used. The shortcuts sit right at the bottom of the screen, where that little caret symbol just means Ctrl. Ctrl+O writes the file out, Ctrl+X exits, and if you have unsaved changes, Nano politely asks before letting you leave. That's the whole editor. Now, Vim. Here's the secret nobody tells you up front. Vim has modes. The same key does completely different things depending on which mode you're in, and once that clicks, the whole editor stops feeling hostile. There are 3 you actually need. Normal mode is where Vim opens. You move around, delete lines, copy and paste from here. Insert mode is where letters actually become text, and you get there by pressing I. And command mode, which you enter with a colon, is for saving, quitting, and searching. Escape always takes you back to normal. That's the map. Which brings us to the question that has launched 1 million Stack Overflow visits. How do you actually get out? 3 keystrokes. Escape, to guarantee you're in normal mode. Then colon, to drop into command mode. Then WQ and enter, write and quit. If you've made changes you want to throw away, use Q instead, and memorize the emergency escape. Escape, escape, colon, Q, bang, enter. That always works. Now that you can escape safely, let's make you actually productive. 12 commands. That's the whole survival kit. The top row gets you into insert mode. I at the cursor. Just after it, O opens a new line below. Escape takes you back, and Shackle moves you around without ever touching the arrow keys. Then 0, and I jump to the start and end of a line, gig and capital J to the top and bottom of the file. Delete a character with X, a whole line with DD, undo with U, and search with /text. Learn these 12, and you can edit any file on any server you'll ever SSH into. Once those 12 basics click, you start composing. Stick a number in front of DD, and you delete that many lines. 5D, 10D, gone. $s/old/new/g is your find and replace across the whole file. I then P duplicates a line in 2 keystrokes. Set number turns on line numbers. Drop it in your bot vimrc to make it permanent. Ctrl+G tells you where you are, and Vim +42 file opens straight to line 42. Verbs plus nouns. That's the whole language. And here's everything on one card. Nano lives on the left, open a file, Ctrl+O to save, Ctrl+X to exit, Ctrl+W to search. Vim sits on the right, I to insert, escape back to normal, WAP to save, DQ to save and quit, Q if you've already saved, and K when you just need out. Print it, fold it, tape it next to your monitor. That's the whole survival kit. Before you go, 5 traps that send beginners running. 1. Typing in normal mode and watching letters fire off as commands. Press I first and watch the cursor shape change. 2. Caps lock turns J into J, which joins lines instead of moving down. 3. Forgetting to save. WQ saves and quits. T throws it away. 4. Editing files in Treacher without sudo, so your changes silently vanish. And 5. The big one, when you're lost, hit escape twice, then Q. That's your universal escape hatch. Now it's your turn. 3 exercises, both editors, real files on your machine. Start with Nano. Open To Do dynamd, add 3 tasks, save with Ctrl+O, exit with Ctrl+X, then cat the file to verify. Next, the rite of passage. Open hello.txt in Vim, press I, type Vim works, hit escape, then q enter. Finally, prove you can walk away. Open any file, change something, and quit without saving using key. Do them in order. That bang means force. And that's lesson 7 in the bag. You can open a file with Nano, survive an encounter with Vim, and exit cleanly every time. The modal model finally makes sense. Next up, package management. apt, DNF, Pacman. The proper Linux way to install software, so you never go hunting for a .x again. See you in Lesson 8.